Have you ever remembered something so clearly, only to find out later it never actually happened? Maybe you vividly recall a childhood event or a conversation, but it turns out your memory was completely wrong. What if I told you that your brain can actually create memories that never existed, and it does this all the time without you even noticing? Our memories aren't perfect recordings of our past. Every time we remember something, our brain doesn't just play back a video of the event. Instead, it rebuilds the memory, piece by piece. And each time it rebuilds it, there's a chance for errors to slip in. Your brain can fill in gaps with details that feel real, but in reality, they might be completely false. This isn't just theory. Psychologists have studied this phenomenon for decades. One of the most famous researchers, Elizabeth Loftus, showed that people could be convinced to remember events that never happened. In one experiment, participants were told a story about being lost in a shopping mall as a child, even though it never happened to them. Astonishingly, about 1 in 4 people actually created a memory of being lost in that mall. Their brains had generated a memory so real that they were completely convinced it was true. So why does this happen? Our brains are wired to make sense of the world. When there's missing information, our minds fill in the gaps. It's not lying on purpose. It's just trying to create a coherent story of our lives. That's why eyewitness accounts can be so unreliable. 2 people can witness the same event and remember it in completely different ways. And both can be confident they are right. Memory editing happens all the time in everyday life, not just in experiments. Think about family stories or events your parents or friends told you. Over time, your brain blends their version of the story with your own imagination, and soon you can't tell the difference between what actually happened and what you've constructed in your mind. Even looking at photos can trick your brain into creating memories that never happened, simply because your mind associates the image with an experience that isn't real. The good news is that while you can't completely stop your brain from creating false memories, you can be aware of it. Question your memories, think critically about them, and don't assume that just because a memory feels real, it's necessarily accurate. Writing down your experiences as soon as possible or verifying details with others can help reduce the chances of your brain rewriting the past. It's a strange and fascinating thing to think about. Our brains are powerful, but they're also imperfect. Some of the moments we cherish, some of the stories we tell about ourselves, might be partly inventions of our own mind. So the next time you feel certain about a memory, pause and ask yourself, is this really what happened, or is it just a story my brain has told me? Memory is not a static recording. It's alive, flexible, and sometimes a little mischievous. And understanding this is one of the most fascinating ways to get closer to how our minds really work.